Do you believe that a painting on the wall could drive someone mad or even cause them to disappear without a trace? For over 20 years, a painting depicting a woman in the rain has been at the center of countless strange events. It is said that anyone who stares into the woman's eyes at midnight will begin to hallucinate and hear the sound of falling rain. So, what is the truth behind the painting, The Rain Woman?
In the city of Vinnytsia, Ukraine, a female painter named Svetlana Telets was sitting in silence, searching for inspiration for her next work. Suddenly, an image appeared in her mind, so vivid and intense that she felt compelled to paint it. Remarkably, it took Svetlana only 5 hours to complete the main figure in the painting, a woman standing in the rain, her eyes unclear, half open or gently shut. Svetlana recalled, "In 1996, I graduated from the Greco-Odessa Art School. For 6 months before The Rain Woman was created, I had this constant feeling that someone was watching me. I tried to ignore those thoughts. One clear day, without a single drop of rain, I sat before a blank canvas, pondering what to paint. Suddenly, I saw the woman's features, her face, skin tone, and aura clearly in my mind. In that moment, I realized every detail of the image. I painted the main figure very quickly. It took about 5 hours. It felt as though someone was guiding my hand. I spent the next month finishing the painting." Based on Svetlana's description, it seems the painting was influenced, perhaps even dictated, by a supernatural force that had been haunting her long before she picked up the brush. This very force not only gave Svetlana a vision of the mysterious woman, but also seemed to guide her hand, using the artist as a vessel to bring the portrait to life. The Rain Woman is a painting composed of dark, heavy tones. The central figure is a slender woman dressed in black, wearing a wide-brimmed black hat, walking in the rain. Her expression is difficult to read. Her eyes appear half-closed or perhaps barely open, adding to the sense of ambiguity and unease. Visually, the painting's gloomy palette is enough to send chills down the spine of anyone faint of heart. Not long after completing it, Svetlana exhibited the painting at an art gallery in Vinnytsia. According to her, several art lovers who came to see the work confided in her that they had experienced similar feelings to those she had while painting it. As Svetlana claimed, the painting possessed strange, haunting power that seemed to affect not only her, but also anyone who came into contact with it. So, did the painting ever sell? Yes, it did. And according to Svetlana, that's when the strange events began to unfold. The first person to purchase the painting was a businesswoman named Larissa. She was deeply drawn to it and decided to hang it in her bedroom. But it didn't take long before she began to regret that decision. Larissa constantly felt as though someone was watching her. Even after she had taken the painting down, the feeling continued to haunt her every night. 2 weeks later, artist Svetlana Telets received a midnight phone call from Larissa, begging her to take the painting back. The strange events surrounding the Rain Woman didn't stop there. The second buyer was a young man who displayed the painting in his living room. However, he couldn't bear it for long either. He ended up reselling it at half the original price just to avoid looking into those eyes. "I dream about her. Every night she appears and follows me like a shadow," he said. The oddest part? Even while awake, he felt her presence near him. He could even hear her breathing. Terrified, he became convinced that the painting was haunted. According to Svetlana, after this second return, rumors about the cursed painting spread rapidly throughout the region. Yet that didn't stop a third customer from appearing. This man was said to be fearless, someone who had never been afraid of ghosts. When he bought the painting, he claimed to have seen the woman somewhere before and believed she would be a perfect match for him. But not long afterward, he returned the painting, this time with a visibly shaken demeanor, a stark contrast to the confidence he had shown when buying it. He explained, "At first, I didn't pay much attention to her pale eyes, but then they started appearing everywhere. I felt like I was drowning in them." He was so frightened he became mentally exhausted and eventually gave the painting back. After 11 years of searching for a true owner, musician Sergei Skachko finally purchased the Rain Woman in 2008. He held a firm belief that the painting rightfully belonged to him and dismissed all the eerie rumors surrounding it. The artwork was moved to Russia, where it remains to this day. According to Skachko, he never felt afraid of the painting and had no intention of returning it. However, one source claimed that his wife eventually put the painting away because she had repeatedly seen a ghostly figure wandering around their home at night. The case drew widespread public attention. Even the police, psychiatrists, and psychologists got involved in investigating the phenomenon. Father Vitaly Gloskovich from the Church of the Transfiguration in Venetia, a doctor of theology, explained, "We think human beings have both soul and spirit. There are works of art that truly belong to the spirit, and there are works that belong to the soul. And the painting we are discussing represents this latter kind of soulful art, but it does not come from God." With this interpretation, many began to believe that the painting was not a divine gift. One rumor even suggested that Svetlana had begun to see ghosts due to hallucinations and delusions triggered by prolonged exposure to the painting. But then why did others who merely viewed or owned the painting also begin to show signs of psychological distress? According to psychiatrist Dr. Gordon Jones, the phenomenon may be explained by autosuggestion, also known as self-hypnosis or self-induced belief. Broadly speaking, it's the idea that imagination can cloud perception and reasoning. Autosuggestion is often seen as the bridge between conscious thought and the subconscious that shapes human behavior. Through repeated self-convincing thoughts, individuals may begin to believe in something they want to be true. Thus, if multiple people experience similar symptoms after owning the painting, it could be a shared psychological effect planted by the artist's earlier narrative. Combined with the painting's eerie composition, gloomy color palette, and haunting atmosphere, viewers might easily fall under a spell of self-hypnosis, convincing themselves that the curse is real. One of the most widely circulated theories about the painting is that some malicious individuals, envious of Svetlana's success, deliberately attempted to sabotage her career by mixing hallucinogenic substances into her paint. However, it is difficult to identify any drug that could retain its effects for such a long time without evaporating within days. The most credible explanation, according to art collectors, lies in the world of art itself. A seasoned expert pointed out that the value of an artwork typically comes from the emotions it conveys and the artist's skill. However, there are rare cases where a painting gains notoriety not through artistic merit, but through rumors and mystique. That is exactly what propelled Svetlana Tellich's otherwise uninspired painting into the spotlight, making the Rain Woman a hot topic across the internet for a time. Despite skeptical voices, the haunted painting narrative left a deep impression. Art enthusiasts who investigated Tellich's artistic career found almost nothing of note. If you search for the name Svetlana Tellich, the only story that emerges is about the Rain Woman, often accompanied by words like shocking or creepy. This immediately casts doubt in the minds of rational thinkers about the authenticity of the tale. Yet some people, more emotionally inclined, have claimed to feel something uncanny when looking at the painting, and that feeling alone was convincing enough for them. The Rain Woman depicts a woman in the rain, as its name suggests. There's something odd about the elongated shape of her face. For those familiar with the art world, this resembles the Art Deco style. But for the uninitiated, she may appear more like a ghost. The dominant black tones, combined with her pale, corpse-like face, leave a chilling impression that lingers in the viewer's mind. So, in the end, the Rain Woman, is it a curse, a case of mass hallucination, or merely a piece of art blown out of proportion? Perhaps everyone will arrive at their own conclusion, but if you ever happen to come across that painting and feel like those eyes are watching you, remember one thing. Don't look too long. Don't let her know you're alone.